Hail, adventurers! Welcome to the Wyvern's Lair. I am DM Wyvern, returning to Dwarf Fortress with my good friend Argembarger here, who is live on stream with us. Argembarger, good afternoon, sir. Good to have you back here at the lair.
Been looking forward to it all week. Gotta see these dwarves to a new future.
Adventurers, please join me in welcoming Argembarger live on stream. I think this is the first time ever here at the Wyvern's Lair we're having one of our guests with a video feed. Argembarger, good friend of mine for years now, and has so kindly offered to join me in this adventure through Dwarf Fortress. So once again, Argembarger, thank you for your time this Saturday. And let's go ahead and greet all the adventurers we have here in the live stream chat this afternoon. We're joined by XPT, patiently waiting for us to go live. Thank you for your patience. We got, of course, Argembarger in the chat. We are live indeed. Finally, Argembarger. We got Gone Soulfire, Drake of the Wyvern's Lair, also lurking away there. Good to have you with us, Gone. And we got T-Dub, also saying, hi guys, very cool. Welcome, welcome, welcome one and all. Okay, so Argembarger, I think the next thing we got to do here is continue active game, right?
Yep, exactly. So we're in late spring, so it's almost summer, and we still need to set up some basic farming. We do have a farmer. We want to let them start doing their job. We need to make a meeting place indoors and get rid of the wagon, because the wagon is still like the meeting place. So the dwarves are like hanging out outside right now when they want to take breaks, and we just want to give them like a room with like some tables and chairs so that they can have a proper meeting room. And we got to set up the distillery. We got to make it so they can start brewing. So getting the farms up so that they can start making food and brewing alcohol is going to be crucial to survival. So I think just part of that will be getting the rest of the things outside moved in. And if you recall, we did avert a disastrous haunting of our fortress. I hope we buried that one dwarf quick enough to avoid their vengeful spirit haunting our fortress. We'll see. You never know.
That's right. We had a burial last time. The dumbest dwarf ever in the history of Dwarf Fortress killed themselves with trying to fell a tree for our construction needs.
What is nice for our purpose, the pressure to make the farm is lower because we do have a lot of food around. Like I see turtles. I see, basically those fishing. The fisher dwarf has been busy. And there's plenty to gather. There's lots of plants around. In a pinch, you can gather some wild garlic and cook up some herb-based and probably some berries and nuts around too. So we have things we can collect for food. Might be good to get familiar with the stocks menu and just make sure that all the numbers stay above 0, because if we run out of food and drink, then that's really bad. Right now we got about 50, so that's like 50 rations worth. That'll keep us going for a while, but yeah, so that we have that much time to like set up our stuff.
Well, I feel so very fortunate that we have an experienced urist like yourself, Argembarger, here to, lay out the game plan here, because I would have been lost. That's one thing that I think is a stumbling block for new players approaching Dwarf Fortress, is that it is a very complex game with a lot going on that I think is difficult to learn outside of trial and error and a more experienced Dwarf Fortress player sort of showing the ropes. So here we are, and you've laid out a great sort of game plan for this session. Where should we begin, Argembarger?
Yeah, I think traditionally breaking down the wagon is a good move, because that'll give us some extra wood too. And we have our stockpiles underground. I would say if you just kind of look at our underground space, you might want to pick out a place to put like the dining room, and I would recommend like making sure it's carved into a stone layer. I think this is all stone layers, so but good to be away from the surface. Not super close to the cavern, so like a happy medium between the surface and the cavern layer, and you can set up like a hotkey so you can hop to that elevation layer. Sometimes it can be a pain to scroll all the way down to the depths all the time. So
right, so let's go ahead and do that. So this is the cavern that we broke into in session 2.
Find
Session
kind
1
of where
really.
our hallway where that tombstone
Oh
is.
yeah, let's go ahead and
Yes,
find that. Let's do that.
that's a good place for a hotkey.
Right there. Okay, so
There it
what's the
is.
hot?
Yeah.
How do I set up a hotkey for this
Yeah, I think
elevation level?
I want to say it's like Shift F1. Let me check
Sure.
this. Hotkeys. It should be. I also have the Dwarf Fortress wiki, which is probably the most convenient way. Hotkey. There's a maximum of 12 to use. To set one, hit H to enter the hotkey menu,
H. Okay. There we go.
and then now you can click basically set the entry to recenter on the current view. So there's like the button in the middle for each row, and so the top row is F1, which right now is the surface, which is good. So you make F2 your cave.
Okay, gotcha. First cavern layer.
And yeah.
Okay.
And then you can just kind of mess with these for whatever works for your brain to like help just quickly hop around, because we're gonna have kind of the operations of our fortress spread among a bunch of different elevations, and if something happens on the surface, it just being able to hop there instantly, right, is really helpful and it's a lot of load off. So yeah, so like I said, somewhere like halfway between the cavern layer and the surface is a good place to like put your dwellings, like, so maybe like elevation like 25 or something.
Gotcha. Okay, elevation 25. Got it. Okay, let me go ahead and mark this.
You can kind of carve out some rooms and hallways for like dining, and we want to start thinking about bedrooms, but also it just gives us lots of stone to make stuff with. So all the mining we're doing just gives us crafting material.
Gotcha. T-Dub says, haunting, perfect for spooky season coming up indeed. And XBT says, are we going to make a door and lock it so troglodytes and giant spiders don't enter the fort?
It's a good idea. Yeah, you can put a door right where the tunnel enters the cave, and then you can click the door and tell it to lock. So
All
that's
right.
something you would make at the carpentry workshop, or you can build a masonry workshop to build it out of stone.
Okay, let's go back up and go to our carpentry shop here, and then we can order a door, correct?
Yeah. And we might want to place some other orders too, just kind of like multitask when we unpause.
Sure.
Give everybody stuff to do.
So how would I create a door here?
Yeah, so if you want to make it out of wood, which is fine, you can lock those and they'll keep stuff out. You just click on your workshop in the corner of that room there.
Oh, the workshop here? Okay, gotcha. Add a new task. Ah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Add a new task.
Door. Make a wooden door. There we go. All right.
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and add
Got it.
that. Anything else that we need to build?
Always good to have a couple more beds. That one room where you stuck a random bed, you can stick some more, and we need to define that room as a dormitory.
Okay, so we can't actually dictate the number of beds. We have to keep on adding a task for a bed.
I think, is that loop button?
Oh.
This is something that
Click to set this task to repeat indefinitely.
Right. So the way to get finer grained control between that and just one thing at a time is there's actually you can assign your one of your dwarves to be a manager, and then the dwarf being the manager for the fortress allows you to request like X number of an item, and then your manager dwarf has to write that up as a work order, and then it gets done automatically.
Do we want to set that manager dwarf now or later?
It's always a good idea, but in order to actually do the job, they need a desk and a chair. And what I usually do is, for the first, like, just to get started, when I make my dining hall, after I define the dining hall, I just pick one of the chairs to be the manager's desk. So they just do their work at like the corner of the dining hall until like the fortress gets bigger and they actually do start demanding better accommodations. Like once the fortress has like, basically it all comes down to if any actual noble like blue blood dwarves move into your fortress, they're gonna demand good accommodations, and then all of your dwarves will be like, well, if they have lavish lodgings, then I need at least, above average lodgings, and they'll get really unhappy because other dwarves have better stuff than them, right? So it's you end up with a whole psychological experiment going on underground.
Gotcha. That's hilarious
It does
that there's
become
that
middle management the game. Yeah.
granularity to the game. Adventurers, please join me in welcoming Anon234 to the Wyvern's Lair. Our good friend Anon saying Dwarf Fortress, middle management the game. T-Dub says that's crazy.
Yeah.
XPT says the manager doesn't need a desk and chair during the first year, but it will make them sad if they don't have it.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds like some quality of life that's been added. That's I like that.
All right, so here we are at the Carpenter's Workshop. So we have a door scheduled, a bed. How many more beds do you want?
It's good to make sure you have at least, probably half as many as you have dwarves, for as long as there's just a dormitory. Eventually, you'll give them all their own room.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dwarves. Yeah, so 3 beds? 2 more beds?
At least 3 beds, maybe 4 beds.
Okay.
Because then, even when they do have their own rooms, you'll probably want to keep the dormitory around, because you're gonna get migrants.
Okay.
They should come in the summer, so you'll get a group of migrants coming. They might bring pets, they might bring family members, they might bring random equipment. Depending randomly on what their skills are, you might end up getting lucky and having a jewel maker, or a crafts dwarf. We can cross our fingers that we get maybe a replacement woodcutter.
I like the name of our Dwarf Fortress, Sirabatur. The Warmth Boulders. All right. So we have our 4 beds here. Anything else that we need from the Carpenter's Workshop?
Let me think. I think
XVT says barrels and bins are also always
barrels
useful.
And bins. Yeah, wheelbarrow. Always nice to have a few. Do we have enough wood for that?
I'm not so sure. I have no clue.
Barrels, bins are separate. There's also boxes.
Do we want... How many barrels do you want?
Oh, no, those are bins. Let's see. You can actually, if you check your stocks...
Okay, let's go ahead and check the stocks. What would be the hotkey for that? Over here.
Actually
there we go.
Top, middle of the... Yeah.
We've got a tooltip here. Stocks. Here you can see every item in the fortress. Click on the category headings to collapse and expand them. If you don't have a bookkeeper, or they don't have an office to work in, numbers may be approximate. Okay. And what would you want to see here?
So it actually shows the count of barrels. So we got 20 barrels. Let's see, getting a vague sense of how full they are is always tough, but we will definitely need them when we have working farms, because then the food that's coming in is gonna need something to be stored in. So I think because we also don't have too much wood, so I might be okay with it for now. I'd rather see us get a mason's workshop built so we could build more stuff out of stone, because wood is a little more special purpose, I think.
Got it.
And there's a lot of the stuff you can make out of stone.
Okay, so you're happy with our current workshop order, the carpentry workshop. Anything else we need, or this is good for you?
I think this is good for this. Yeah, for our door, for the cave, and for some more beds for our dorm.
And what's the next room that we're building?
Let's actually quickly define that room as a dorm. I think if you just click on the bed, you can define the dormitory.
Okay, let's click on
off of the bed.
And this is what I come up with.
Is that room designation? Let me try to do this.
Sure.
I should be trying to do stuff on my end before I
got you. Yeah.
Tell you to.
So we have Argembarger. He has the exact same world that I do, and so he can kind of almost copycat the fortress that we're trying to build on his end. T-Dub says you need to make an office with cubicles. Anon says
yeah. I think it might just be the room menu. Zones. Yeah, you hit the zones, which is Z,
Z. Okay.
and
There we go.
then Z for zone, and then you do dormitory.
Gotcha. Let's go ahead and read this. Zones are areas you designate where your citizens will work, socialize, rest, or perform specific duties. There are several kinds of zones, which you can see in the panel on the left. Zones are placed much like stockpiles. Unlike stockpiles, multiple zones can overlap. Certain zones, like bedrooms, can be placed at several at a time. Just make sure you have the correct furniture placed in the rooms with doors or vertical entries separating each room before you begin again. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and, as you said, let's find, what are we looking for here? We're looking
It's
for
just the
bedroom.
dormitory one.
Right, there we go. And so we just do this and that's it?
I would make it a dormitory though, because otherwise they'll be like, "Oh, we're sharing a bedroom." But if it's a dormitory,
Oh,
then they're like, "Oh yeah, we're supposed to share a dormitory, so it's
okay,
not a
so
big deal."
cancel that. So we're looking for dormitory. There we go.
It's right next to bedroom. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Highlight like this. This looks good to you?
Yeah, you can if you highlight the rows around it, like the walls, then it'll include the walls when it's thinking about what the room is.
Mm.
If you just pick the floor tiles, then it thinks it doesn't include the walls in its conception of the room.
So like
So
this.
it's kind of a subtle. Yeah, exactly. Yep, yep. Enclosing it in the layer of wall.
Do I want to get the
Exactly.
doorway as well? That doorway space?
Yeah, it's fine to do that.
Okay,
Um,
got it. So let's go ahead and define that. Okay, there you go. We got a dormitory set up, designated
then
here.
you once you place
Accept.
the additional beds in there, it'll automatically consider them part of the dorm, and then dwarves will start using it when they need to sleep.
Awesome. Let's go
I
ahead
bet
and click accept.
that they do need to sleep soon. They don't
Gotcha.
like sleeping on the ground outside.
Anon has a question for us. He says, "Can you do force join the colony by imprisoning migrants and convincing them to join the fort?" I know that's a thing in RimWorld, which was inspired by this game.
I mean, you pretty much can do whatever you want with the migrants that come in. Yeah, I mean, they uh they are dedicated to the fortress and they'll follow whatever order you give them or any jobs that you place, as long as they're not like losing their mind and rebelling against your rule. But yeah, like I've seen people make fortresses where they just want to have one dwarf and they like kill off all the migrants in horrible ways just to make sure that they just have their one solitary dwarf. They just make build a big trapdoor bridge over a moat of lava and just drop the dwarves into it when they try to cross it. That kind of thing. Or I've definitely seen fortresses where actually nowadays the lines are so blurred because if you set up a real tavern on the surface, then you'll get travelers who are not part of your fortress coming to patronize the tavern. And I mean, yeah, you could trap those folks in your fortress if you wanted to. It's kind of your game to do whatever you want with it. I'm usually just trying to survive, but yeah, there's people who go out and uh, break into hell and release all the demons, and that's what they want to do with their Dwarf Fortress game, and more power to them.
Got some music going for us in the background. Thank you for that response, Argembarger. We got some advice here from XPT. For those of you who are joining the stream, we are listening to Cryo Chamber, his Mountain Realm series of Dungeon Synth albums here. XPT says right now the Fisher Dwarf is fishing. It's also the only dwarf assigned to woodcutting unless he stops being a Fisher Dwarf. He won't stop fishing to cut wood.
Yeah, because he's better at fishing than woodcutting, so he'll prefer to fish.
So should we take him off his fishing assignment?
Maybe temporarily at least, but
How do I do that?
I think you go into from the dwarf menu, or
Okay, here
is
we
that
are.
you? Go to the labor
Labor.
tab,
Okay,
and then you can find your fisher.
right there. And so
You
how
know,
to...
go to the wood. You can go to the fisher dwarf tab on the left, and then uncheck.
Done. Okay,
Then you'll just recheck it later when you want more food.
got it. And so back to our fortress here. So we have a bedroom defined. what is next for us?
Yeah, I
Argembarger?
was recommending digging out a little living area around like maybe elevation 25, like having the
Elevation
work.
25. Okay.
Yeah,
Off
because
we go.
having like the workshops and like kind of you want some space near the surface for defense, military kind of surface stuff, but you just want the dwarves want to just be have like a nice cozy place away from everything where they can just enjoy their meals and go to bed. And so yeah, you can just dig out like a main. I usually make like a main hallway and start building large rooms off to the side. And
Okay. Where
to
should
get
we place this main hallway? Where would you
I
advise
I
to?
would probably dig it out to the north.
To
Like make a
to the
nice two
north.
wide.
That would head
Yeah.
towards like the sea is to the north of us. That would be fine. I guess we're underneath the sea.
Yeah,
at
we're
this
really
point.
far down. Yeah, we're
Okay.
really far underground.
All right. How long do you want the corridor to be? Like this?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get that assigned. All right. And then unpause, I guess. Or could we
Yeah.
already dictate a living space too?
You can dictate a living space also. I would so having the room which will become the dining room. It could just be a pretty large 7 by however long you want the table to be.
That sounds good. Let me go ahead and just go ahead and welcome Lemon Pledge and his raiders from his channel. Thank you so much for dropping by, Lemon Pledge, and thank you for the raid. I hope you had a great stream of Baldur's Gate 3 on your end. I also really appreciate the fact that YouTube now has those announcements.
Yeah, that's cool. They're rushing to catch up.
Yeah, that's right. They're trying to keep up with Twitch here because YouTube wants it all. All right, so here we are. We got our corridor set up, and where would you place the living room here?
Maybe to the right
Okay,
side.
and how big do you want it to be?
Like I usually think of you want typically for a starting fortress, I usually just build like my table to be like 2 wide by like 6 long, so more than enough for the starting group plus the first wave of migrants.
Do we want like a door space?
Yeah, you want a door space, and you want space around, so you want the table in the center and like the chairs around the table, or you can like set up the chairs and tables however you want technically, but yeah, and it's just like a nice rectangular 7 wide by however long.
Okay, 7 wide. All right. 5, 6, 7, like that.
It's good.
Should
That's
it
a
be
good
bigger?
starting. That's fine. You can always dig it out further if you want to expand it in the future. Do
But
some
this-
remodeling.
This is a good starting point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Should we go ahead and unpause?
Yeah, I think enough dwarves have
Or-
stuff to do. When you unpause, let's go to the surface. I want to designate the wagon for removal.
You got it. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, we can't designate the wagon for removal in pause. We have to unpause.
You can designate it by pause. It'll be like everything else. It'll happen when you unpause.
Sure. Let's go ahead and
click-
designate it for removal.
Yeah, click on the wagon, and there's a button
Oh, I'm in the wrong
when
screen.
you're in the wagon.
There we go. All right, click on the wagon. There we go. The wagon has been clicked
Yeah.
on.
Now there's the button to the top right next to the quill. It's like the little X'd out house. That'll remove it, and we'll get all the wood that it's made of back.
Got it. Okay. What about all the stuff that's inside the wagon that we can see?
It'll just get laid on the ground, and they can move it into the stockpiles whenever they get time.
Okay. There we go. Slated for removal. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we good
Also
there?
check the zones again. Hit the Z key.
Sure. Let's go ahead and do that.
See. Or you might have to back out. There might be a lingering meeting area. It might go away when they tear the wagon down.
All
That might be some old info from the past, but I remember having to undesignate the wagon area as a meeting space back in the day, so
Doesn't seem to be a meeting space here.
it's probably fine then.
Okay.
Yeah, if we
All right.
unpause, they should have enough stuff to do.
Okay. And where should we move the camera view?
This is fine. I want to see the wagon get broken
Sure.
down. It's a good moment.
Got it. Okay. Let me go ahead. Should I put a hotkey for that elevation 25?
Elevation 25. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. Let's go ahead and set up a hotkey here. That would be H. And we're going to call this, what are we going to call this area?
This is like, yeah, like quarters, probably.
Quarters. There we go. And recenter this location. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Let's go back up, and we're going to go ahead and unpause. We have a question here from Anon234 saying, I've heard stories of goblins getting drunk in a tavern and starting fights with dwarf children.
I have no doubts at all.
Hold on one second. I will be just looking for something here. Never mind. Off we go.
There's my favorite tale of dwarf taverns is it actually was a long-standing bug that got discovered thanks to the tavern system. There was an affliction that was causing cats and fortresses to mysteriously perish.
Should we expand? Sorry, go ahead, Argembarger.
Oh no, finish your thought.
No. You please finish your thought.
Oh, okay. It's a bit of a story, but there's a cat affliction that those cats would mysteriously die. This was a long-standing bug forever, but it got really it peaked with the introduction of the tavern the tavern system, and it turned out there was a lot of investigation that needed to be done, but they discovered what was happening was the less skilled dwarven barkeepers were clumsy with the drinks, and they were splashing dwarven beer on the ground, and the cats would walk through the beer and they would get dwarven beer on their paws and they would lick it off, and they would basically be dying of alcohol poisoning because the dwarven beer is so strong. It's basically like liquor, so the cats, it's 20 or 30% alcohol or something like the regular beer, so the cats were just they didn't know why the cats were dying, but that was why, because they would walk through beer and then they would groom themselves, which is modeled by actually using their tongue and licking their body parts, and that was causing them to ingest the alcohol and die from alcohol poisoning. So that's what this game does. That's the kind of stuff that happens in Dwarf Fortress.
Don says, mash that thumbs up for Dwarf Love. XBT says, I don't think there's much room in the stockpile. Should we expand the stockpile?
It's always a good idea. Okay. You guys also make more stockpiles of specialty, specialty type.
We'll expand this one for now.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So
because this can also become where the military barracks are.
Right. And then I can designate this as a zone, correct?
Yeah, once it's dug out, it has to be dug out first. Well,
okay.
No, yeah, you should be able to expand the existing stockpile, yeah.
All right, so this has been designated, correct? And I expand the designation. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, so how do I...
If you view the stockpile, there's a repaint button on the top.
Okay, so how do I view the stockpile?
There's a view stockpile button on that menu when you clicked on it.
Okay, there we go. View stockpile. There we go. Got it.
Yeah.
And then repaint.
Yeah, repaint, and then you can fill the area you want to dig out.
Okay, got you. So let's try.
But
that
it might
again.
not let it place until it's actually dug out. So
okay.
just FYI, zones are things like stockpiles are different than things like zones. Stockpiles take up space, but zones don't take up space. They're just abstract representations.
All right, so go ahead.
That makes sense.
Oops.
Zones can overlap, but stockpiles can't overlap with each other. They need to have open space.
All right, maybe we have to wait for this to be dug out.
Yeah,
Back
there's
to
also
the
lots
surface.
of further underground stuff to dig out.
And let's go ahead and click on play and see the wagon be dismantled here for Sirabatur. Off they go.
It's a momentous. It's always a big deal to break the wagon down.
Done.
There it goes.
Let's go ahead and pause. Where should we move the camera now? What's the next sort of most important area for us to view?
I think for me, you're gonna want down in your I would put it in your elevation 25 quarters. If you dig in the opposite direction from your living area, you can make kind of a workshop area, you want to dig it. You want to kind of keep it away from where the bedrooms and where the dining room are going to be because they're noisy. It's going to be like stoneworking and there's lots of noisiness, and they don't like hearing those noises when they're trying to relax.
Got it. So what are we?
It might need to wait till after this job gets done. To be honest.
Okay.
Do we have 3 miners designated?
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at labor. This is what we have set up.
Yeah, we do have 3 miners, or at least we have 3 people with pickaxes. Yeah, they're miners.
Got it. And
All
before
good.
we head back into this, let me go ahead and greet some additional adventurers who have descended into the labyrinths of the lair here. We're joined by Wesley saying, hey gamers, good to have you here, Wesley. And we got Yopa Adventurers. Please join me in welcoming Wesley and Yopa to the Wyvern's Lair. Good for you both to drop by. As myself and Argembarger explore the grand sandbox adventure that is Dwarf Fortress. Okay, so just so we understand, Argembarger, the next sort of thing to do is to watch this be carved out of the stone, correct?
I would say, yeah. Okay. I don't think there's anything. Well, might want to check if that door got made.
Okay, let's go ahead and check that door. Is there a quick way to do it?
You can just hit B.
B, okay.
And and then go to instructions or doors, hatches. And if the door has been built, then you should be able to place it and.
Oh, we can. It looks like. Yeah. So let's go to F2, and we're placing the door here.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Okay, done. Needs a door. Make it a workshop personnel access to it.
So we are waiting for the door.
Okay. So where should we move the camera next?
Back to the quarters, or maybe actually let me show you something else you can do on the surface. Go back to the surface.
Okay.
It's a cool thing that can be good to do for dwarves that aren't doing anything else right now for you.
We got a great comment from Yopa here in the live stream chat. He says the game looks too complicated. What would you say to that, Argembarger?
You should see the version without graphics.
Well, what is the appeal for a game that has this granularity of information and gameplay, I guess? What is the appeal there to you as a player, Argembarger?
Just systems modeling perspective, it's pretty fascinating. So, the fact that the world can keep track of all these entities and objects coherently, and across time, as it generates the world, the fact that the game doesn't spawn anything after world creation, so it creates the world and then everything after that is purely emergent, just sort of butterfly effect, emergent gameplay. I just find that very beautiful from a mathematical perspective, just inspiring as a programmer. So that's the big one for me. The fact that you can get compelling stories out of this thing, and it's really the creator's quest to make a game that they themselves will never get bored with, is what Dwarf Fortress kind of represents to me.
Yeah, and that's a great way to put it. And as someone who doesn't have maybe the same approach you do to Dwarf Fortress, but kind of understands your points of interest here, for myself as someone who has no history with Dwarf Fortress, and I really don't have that depth of understanding that Argembarger has. But what appeals to me, Yopa, and for those of you on the live stream, is the fact that you as a player can dictate the terms of the world you want to play in at world generation. That is an incredibly fun facet to the game. So you can dictate how old the world is, how many mega monsters it may have, how many civilizations. So you can sort of set up all the parameters of the world you want to adventure in just when you kick off things for yourself as a player in Dwarf Fortress. So you can set up sort of the sandbox you want. That's incredibly fun to me. And then the second part to the reason why I'm fascinated by Dwarf Fortress, and I'm looking forward to playing it on my channel, is exactly what Argembarger, you pointed out. Once the world is generated, it is a complete sort of world experience. Nothing else will kind of show up. But as you move forward in time as a player, whether in Dwarf Fortress mode or in Adventure mode, the world will change around you. And there is no such thing as two worlds being alike, or even two playthroughs being alike. Because even though Argembarger may have the seed that creates this world that we set up, as he plays out on his end, random events will happen that will cause sort of the two histories of the same world to diverge, if that makes sense. And I'm really looking forward to much more of Dwarf Fortress for many of the reasons Argembarger pointed out here. All right, so you want to get on the surface, and what did you want to see here, Argembarger?
Yeah. So there's a nice handy. This is helpful especially because we have a lot of plant life around us. So I just want to show it. There's a gather. So it's kind of the third button on the bottom middle. The plant gathering orders.
Got you. Set plant gathering. Okay.
You can just kind of tap on a couple of plants or cover a small area. Because that can be nice to get some seeds and just random plants that your dwarves can feast on in a pinch.
Sure. So we got garlic plants. We can grab that. And let's see. Oh, do I highlight a whole? Do I highlight a whole area? Or do I individually?
Yeah,
highlight
you can draw a square. Yeah.
Okay, got you. All right, so let's go ahead
just
and
cover all the gatherable plants, because not everything's gatherable. Like tree saplings are not gatherable.
Right, got you. And so the dwarves will sort that out automatically between what's gatherable and what's not.
Yep. They'll gather what they can and
leave the rest.
Yeah. And the more skilled they are at it, the better their returns will be.
All right, so there we go. Is this a good area?
Yeah. I just wanted to show it that way you knew about it, because it's just one of those basic survival skills. If you run out of food, right, you're gonna go grab a bunch of turnips from the surface.
Now, did I assign that correctly?
Did you let go of it, or did you click again?
So this is what I've highlighted. And then did I just let go?
Oh, you just click again, right?
Okay. That's what happens. I don't see it highlighted though.
Oh yeah, it's put little bag icons over the plants.
Oh, it has. Got you. Okay. Do we need to assign a dwarf to gather this stuff?
I did it on my end, and it looks like there's some that already have the labor. It's one of those default labors, so anybody should do it if they have time.
Got it. I have a planter
They're not
here.
doing anything more important. They'll probably do it, yeah.
So just leave it alone. No need to assign an individual dwarf.
Yeah,
to it?
you can check the tab, but I think it's probably fine. Plant gatherers.
Oh,
I guess nobody has it explicitly. Oh, it's set to everybody does this.
Oh, okay.
You click on plant gatherers, it says everybody does this. Yeah.
So we're good there?
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
All right. So where are we going next in terms of our camera view?
Let me show you. Let's leave the camera view, but go back into the units tab.
Units tab. Where is that?
Or you can say U for units.
Okay.
Which is just everything. It's just your But then if you go to nobles and administrators.
We have the tooltip here. Let me go ahead and read this, and then you can explain it further, Argembarger. Here you can view your nobles, as well as assign your administrators, military leaders, and other officials. Militia commanders are assigned here. Once the first leader is assigned, subsequent captain positions will appear. These can also be assigned from the squad menu. Certain important functions in your fortress can only be performed by assigned administrators, such as the manager and bookkeeper. Once they are assigned, you can create work orders, run a hospital, and count and appraise your hoard. Nobles and certain administrators require rooms, and some may also make demands.
Indeed. So this is where you would assign particularly the manager and bookkeeper are the most useful at this stage. Messenger's kind of cool, but that's like a new thing. But no, the important ones are manager and bookkeeper, and traditionally you can just assign it to your expedition leader, because they usually have the highest social kind and intellectual scores typically, but you never know. So sometimes it can be good to just look at your dwarves' personalities and be like, who's got the most analytical mind, be the best bookkeeper. But usually, if you're just playing casually, it's not a big deal and anybody can do the job. But yeah, if you want to click on like the plus next to bookkeeper,
Okay.
I would just assign it to Zuthan or expedition leader.
We have a proficient record keeper
That's
here.
true. The planter is, but the planter is going to be busy planting. So, I guess that's we could make the planter the bookkeeper, but keep the workload light. So I would say,
Yeah, let's go ahead and tap into that proficiency in record keeping.
yeah, I'm going to do that too, and then I would set the precision down to 1.
Gotcha. This is Uvash Onolitast. And this is highest precision.
Yeah, it's currently on highest precision, but we want it
lowest precision.
Yeah, just so they don't spend too much time on it.
Ah, interesting. Okay, got you. I get it now. So basically, this will dictate how much time they put into serving us as the bookkeeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
So if you, yeah.
And it says your bookkeeper needs to work in an office to improve precision.
Indeed. Which we can turn the dining room into that once the dining room has been built.
Okay.
So that's what I always do anyway, at least until you give them their own offices. You can just give them one of the chairs of the dining room and say, this is your office. They just kind of deal with it. It's not ideal, but neither is starting a fortress with only 7 dwarves. So
6 now, I think, after
yeah,
poor
yeah.
Kubel smashed himself with the tree. Yopa says, it was fun, but I have to go. Bye-bye, adventurers. Please join me in wishing Yopa a Wyvern's Lair farewell. Thank you for dropping by. Wesley says, I love games where you just look at what the little people do. Like, you tell them how to make their homes, but once your base is done and there's all these little personal dramas and personalities you can manage. Yeah, that's true. There's that toyetic factor to Dwarf Fortress and games like RimWorld, Wesley. All right, Argembarger, so where are we going next with the camera?
Actually, I'd actually go back into that menu and it's also assign a manager.
Okay, so once again, we're going to hit you, and we're going to go to Nobles and Administrators, and we're going to be looking for what was that? Manager. Okay.
Manager. And this the Expedition Leader actually is the best choice for this.
Excellent. Adequate Organizer. So we'll click here and assign Zuthan Morlalode as our Expedition Leader to the manager role. And what are we doing here now?
Now that you have a manager assigned, the work orders tab becomes usable. So if you go over to the work orders tab right next to this tab.
There we go. And let me go ahead and read the tooltip here. Work orders are used to automate tasks in workshops. These work orders are set to complete a certain number of tasks and can be given start conditions. For instance, you can create an order to make wooden bins if you're out of empty ones, to brew drinks if you're running low, or to make 5 statues every month. You can limit work orders to a number of workshops. You can also create work orders at specific workshops from their building sheet. The system is reasonably powerful. You can eventually automate almost all of your production if you wish.
So this is a really powerful mechanic, and basically because we have a manager now, you can just come here whenever you need almost anything and ask for it here in a much more granular way. So you can say, I want 7 tables, and it'll just make them,
instead of having to click on the carpentry workshop or a workshop.
Right. And it should tell you if a job is blocked by the lack of a workshop. I'm pretty sure it'll say, this work order is currently blocked by, there's no workshop. But that can give you a way to know if you need a workshop you don't already have. But yeah, as long as you have the workshop and the stuff for it, you can just requisition any creation of items here. And it's just very handy. Just quality of life of not having to go all the way to the workshop every time you want to get something. Very understated mechanic. I'm surprised it's not part of the tutorial actually, because it's such a sanity saver. So
yeah, no, you make a really good point. This definitely should be part of a a revamped tutorial, because having to find every little workshop and assign individual orders to them would eventually drive me to insanity as well. We have some advice again from XPT here saying, a management job I always make is 10 bins and 10 barrels, wooden, and always make 10 more unless I have 10 free.
Right, you can set rules up for that to say, yeah, if we have fewer than 10 free bins, then make 10 more. But we'll definitely need to have like sufficient stockpile space and lots of spare wood. And actually, you might be able to make, which one is it you can make out of stone? It might be bins. There's like a coffer. Yeah, there's an item called a coffer, which you make out of stone, and it acts like a bin. Very handy. I like to give my dwarves coffers in their bedrooms because stone is plentiful. Once you are planning your fortress and all the rooms in it, you end up with a lot of spare stone because your miners get really good at digging.
G-Dub says, I just want this to go faster. Laugh out loud, no pressure. Eventually we'll get speed, but I'm still learning the game, T-Dub, so I'm a neophyte urist here. If you watch more experienced Dwarf Fortress players, they move along so fast, it's really kind of hard for me as someone who doesn't really understand what they're doing to appreciate their expertise with this game. Any case, so here we are. Where are we going next, Argembarger? Speaking of going faster.
Yeah. So we do want to. I think we were digging out expansions to the stockpile, right? We got someone cutting some wood. That's good. But let's check out that stockpile expansion.
Okay.
Check that out a little.
All right, let's go ahead and unpause that.
It's still coming.
Yep.
So let them do that. I think the caves are really nice, especially because they seem peaceful. We might want to look at the caves and see if there's a way we can block off a chunk of it and we can do our farming in there, because I think the soil down there works for farming as is, which is very convenient.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at that then. So we're going to head back down to F2. And
I learned to play this game when farming was as difficult as it ever was in the history of the game. When I learned to farm, you pretty much had to like irrigate. You had to like dig out an area, wash water over, like flood it with water, let the water dry out, and then you could farm on top of that.
Oh my goodness.
It's much easier these days. I think anything that you can just sort of anywhere where it lets you place crops.
I'm glad that Tarn is prioritizing, fun for the game. That is good to hear. Anyway, we were not paused, I realized, but we have almost the entirety of the stockpile dug out, so we'll just go ahead and finish that. And then let me go ahead and assign...
Finally, repaint
that, view the stockpile, and then go ahead and repaint. And now we should be able to repaint it. So we just could do this, and oh, there we go, and accept. And now suddenly we have an expanded stockpile here. Okay, and next we're going to go back down to the cavern layer, and what are we looking for here, Argembarger?
I'm looking for easy to basically. Can we secure a large area of this easily? Can we like block off a couple of things in order to be sure that we're not going to have stuff walking in on us from off screen?
Where do you think's the best place for us to wall off the cavern?
Well, because if the caverns, I haven't even been convinced that the cavern has any openings. It might be fully self-contained, in which case we don't need to wall it off, because yeah, I don't see any...
I see something in the cavern. I see this thing, whatever this thing is.
Yeah, I have the same cavern as you, but it's hard to tell.
There seems to be a creature in this cavern. A troglodyte, actually.
Troglodyte.
Troglodyte. Let's take a look at this. The first sort of non-player character that we found outside of our dwarf expedition. So this is a troglodyte. It has good spatial sense. It has good memory, disdains loyalty. It's fearful, thoughtless, and fact-oriented. It has no items, no health problems, no rooms, no labor. Personality. He has an amazing spatial sense and a great memory. Good creativity, a good kinesthetic sense, and a way with words. He has great trouble mastering fear when confronted by danger. He can sometimes act without deliberation. He isn't given to flights of fancy. He tends not to be swayed by emotional appeals. He often feels lustful, a little randy troglodyte. He prefers to present himself modestly. He tends to consider what others think of him. He's quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture. Maybe he can be socialized to not be a danger to our Dwarf Fortress. He sometimes acts with little determination and confidence. He's often cheerful. He has a noticeable lack of perseverance. He's assertive, and he has a greedy streak. That's the personality, no thoughts, military. And that's it. That's our troglodyte.
I'm trying to remember how aggro troglodytes are. I don't think they're terribly dangerous. They're kind of weak. They're like weaker than goblins. So, and goblins are not to be trifled with. But they're not a huge deal. Might also be. I see a bat down there. It looks to me like it could be viable to block off a section of the cave for farming, but it's not easy because the cave is like 3-dimensional, so it's hard to like guarantee that you've actually plugged off any other way in.
We could try, just out of an abundance of caution.
Yeah, because if we can secure a chunk of this, we can just use it for farming. We can just place our crops.
Now, is this troglodyte something that we need to worry about?
Let's check the wiki. I forget how aggro they are. It's been a bit. Troglodyte.
Anon234 says, I can see cave mushrooms. All mushrooms are edible at least once. Anon234, are you familiar with Dwarf Fortress?
The main risk with them is that they're often in groups. So they shouldn't be a threat individually, but they're usually in groups of 8. So
Ooh. Okay.
Where there's one, there should be more. And I think you can check. Go back to the. It's the U key. No, it might be the military screen because it's like enemies technically. Checks. Creatures. Yeah, it's just creatures, but you got to go to not the fortresses. Or maybe I can't see that. Maybe I haven't found the troglodyte yet. That would explain it. There's also cave spiders, which means there's cave spider silk down.
Yep, there's a cave spider silk web right over here, and
as long as
remains.
there's no giant cave spiders, then we shouldn't have too much of a problem. But yeah, caves are scary, so having that door to block it off, but it's a high risk, high reward because yeah, you can get really convenient farming these like mushroom trees.
I'm
nice
down
wood.
to farm. I'm down to farm. Let's just figure out how we're gonna block off this cavern. T-Dub says Shelob.
Shelob, for sure. Some industrious dwarf fortresses will like almost domesticate giant cave spiders. You can't really domesticate them, but they'll like trap them in their fortress. They'll like make like a labyrinth almost. And what they'll do is they'll like capture goblins in cages and they'll like release them in the room where the cave spider is. But the cave spider won't be able to get to him, so it'll just try to shoot silk at the goblin or whatever. And then the goblin will run around in a circle around the cave spider, it'll just shoot its silk, and then they recapture the goblin and take it out, and then the dwarf comes in and gathers all the silk.
Adventures.
Farming.
Please join me in welcoming Garrus, aka Lizardplane 1, joining us from beautiful North Dakota this afternoon. Anon says, no, I only know Dwarf Fortress from the video stories I watched a while ago. Gotcha, Anon224. Alright, so are we decided then that we're going to attempt to wall off part of this cavern and farm a portion of it?
The easiest first step would be like another door or wall like right to the left of the starting entrance. So if we wall that off or door it off, then we can kind of not worry about anything coming in from that whole upper area.
Okay, so the door, you still want that door here, correct?
Yeah, I think having the door there is always a good backup.
Okay.
So that way, if our farm area gets compromised, we can still block off.
Now, does the material of the door actually matter as far as its strength?
It used to not. matter. It may very well matter by now.
But let's say we want to replace it with a stone door in the future. Is that possible?
Yeah, you can deconstruct it and place a new one
cool.
where it was.
Awesome. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
want a
Dwarven
classic
too.
Dwarven Fortress using stone for a lot of our features eventually. All right.
That's really a good move. Yeah, I would recommend getting Mason Workshop set up as soon as you can.
All right. So let's place this door. So it's going to be B.
B. I think.
Doors and hatches. Door.
B. Yep.
Okay. Needs a door. Make at a workshop first. I guess we haven't had
Oh,
a
we're
chance to
still
build
waiting
it.
on that thing. We're
Okay.
still waiting on that thing.
So should we wait for that door to be built first before continuing further in the cavern, or can we do stuff regardless?
Yeah, I would say yeah, you can always do other stuff, but I guess it's important to see what the carpenter is doing because it would be their job to build the door. So if there's like a particular reason they're not working on the door, you can like check the U menu
All right.
and see what they might be doing instead of carpentry.
I don't think we have anyone assigned to carpentry right now.
Well, it's probably that their other jobs they've been doing in the meantime have like taken precedence on their name.
Okay, so we just let them build out then?
The woodworker. Where's that's woodcutter. Where's the? Oh wait, that's details.
XPT says the carpenter is dead. He's talking about Kuleb, who we buried here.
That was a dedicated woodcutter, right? Though I think
Yeah.
'cause we had a woodcutter and a woodworker.
Right. That's the casket of Koltulul right over here. He was the one who was slain in our first episode. I hope everyone is enjoying Mountain Realm in the background as our score for Dwarf Fortress.
But I can't see. One thing that just for me the biggest quality of life problem with the Dwarf Fortress has always had is the way that you have to like go into each dwarf's menu to like assign labors. And I think this is something I might introduce in the next session we do. I'll like show you Dwarf Therapist because that breaks all of your dwarves into a spreadsheet where you can just see what everybody's doing and reassign everybody en masse basically in batches. It's very helpful. But I think to identify who used to be our woodworker, the work orders menu is been simplified down into just wood. I'm trying to find the crafting jobs. Engravers. There's so many more. So many more jobs than those. Where are they at? Am I on like simple mode?
Wesley says that's a lot of grumpy dwarves. They're grumpy because, as I was pointing out, one of our dwarves managed to kill themselves while chopping wood, and his body remained on the surface for quite some time. And I think the dwarves walking by
smell it. Yeah,
were upset, being reminded of the death of their comrade there. So we were able to build that casket for them.
I think the menu that shows you the breakdown of happiness is... I don't think there is. I think you just have to look at them. But again, Dwarf Therapist shows you like information in batch. Like I think it shows like emotional state, like hunger levels in like a unified menu, which is really helpful. Because otherwise you're just like, yeah, I see like 2 or 3 unhappy dwarves, but it's basically like Roller Coaster Tycoon or whatever. You don't really get a sense for why they're mad until you click on them. It's just I guess the game's paused, so if you want to micromanage, and there is like a little bit of unavoidable love of micromanagement that's needed for this game, but I want to show that you don't need to worry about micromanaging. That it puts a lot of people off the game when they see super micromanaged fortresses and they're like, oh yeah, nobody has time for that. But like there's a lot of automation, like you can see the manager system, there's a lot of quality of life that if you know how to do it, it makes it a lot more manageable. So I'm glad I can be here to hopefully help.
Oh, you're very helpful, Argembarger.
I'm sure the dwarves are still gonna die, but we'll at least have fun while they're dying.
All right, so what's the next step here? Should we let the dwarves complete their current tasks?
Yeah, I think having a new meeting room's gonna be good because then they don't like meeting on the surface, and yeah,
Okay, off we
we
go.
can build some tables and chairs. I would say, um, like dig to the south after they're done with this area. Like dig a whole way to the south and build some mason workshops and like stone stockpiles. So
Do we
we
need
just start.
that before the farm is set up in the cavern?
Yeah, I think actually making stone furniture, stone like you make stone doors and things like it helps with a lot of things in general. So
Okay.
we are getting pretty good at mining. Just want to make sure that we have, especially because once we have the dining room placed, it's important to put like a food and drink stockpile next to it, so we get a basically our pantry for the dining room has a pantry, and we can have like a kitchen as well, so they can prepare food.
Okay, the dining room is ready to be defined, I guess?
Yeah. I would. Well, basically, it's just setting tables and chairs. So we don't have any tables and chairs yet. So I guess temporarily you could just build a mason's workshop in here, and we can build that stuff right here on site, and then we can tear down the workshop when we're done, and we can
Okay.
just build all the stuff.
So
that we
Mason's
made.
Workshop is next?
Yeah, just place it like right here, even next to all these rocks.
Okay, so what are we looking for here? Under workshops,
Yep.
we're looking for, where is it? Stoneworker?
It's should be
Make stone
Building
furniture here as well
workshops.
as blocks which are used in construction.
It's yeah, I think stoneworker.
Stoneworker, okay. And where do you want to place it? The upper right corner?
Maybe even just the center, because we're just
Center.
gonna tear it down. We're just gonna tear it down when we're done.
Okay, select
So-
materials for the stoneworker's workshop. Amount needed is 1.
They'll just grab that diorite that's right next to them.
Done. All right, on pause.
Yep. Then once that has been built,
been
go
built.
back. We're gonna practice using the manager menu.
Okay,
Do the work orders
so
under the
U key,
U.
work orders. There we go.
Yep, and now you can say menu work orders. You want to designate a new work order and type search for rock table,
Done.
and go ahead and make like, I don't know, 10.
10. There we go.
Then do the same for rock throne, which is what the chairs are called when they're made of rock.
Okay, so to do that, we got to create a new work order right
Yep.
here. Okay. Throne. Oh, I see. We have to even say what we're making. Rock throne. There we go. And you want how many?
Rock.
How many of these?
Probably 10 of those too.
Okay.
One for each table.
And it looks like we can only make 10 out of 10, right? According to this thing. What is this? 10 out of 10. What does that mean?
I think that's how many have been requested. My picture's in the way of the. I guess I should be looking at the 10 out of 10 is, yeah, there are 10 of them have yet to be done.
Okay.
So once it's done, it'll be a 0 out of 10.
Got it. Okay, and where do we go next now that we've defined those orders? Actually, you know what?
The manager will just do it now. Once the manager will get that to happen.
Got you. Argembarger, we've been streaming for an hour and 30 minutes, and, you know, like I've said many a time here, I believe in healthy gaming here at the Wyvern's Lair. Would you be up for a 5-minute break?
Yeah, sure thing.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Argembarger and myself, as hardworking Urus, we need to get up, stretch our legs, get some meat and some food, and we'll be right back to
I'll say
growing our
just to
gold
remind, I
fortress.
only have about 25 minutes before my hard cutoff time anyway.
Oh, do you want to just keep on charging then?
Just for this one, because I am gonna be having to cut off early. It might be justifiable this time.
Sure. Okay, in that case, we're going to keep on going. All right, so we got our table.
Sorry
we
to
got
do
our,
that to you.
No, it's totally fine. I actually was taking that break for your sake. So we got our stoneworkers workshop already set up. We got our orders there. Where are we going next, Argembarger?
Yeah, I think if as long as so that'll happen once we unpause. Let me think about if we go.
We got our good friend Isn't here saying Wyvern streams at a reasonable hour. Shocker. How is the sacrificial fort? Isn't Adventures, please join me in welcoming my great friend Isn't Izan, if you're not winding up your day out there in the United Kingdom and you'd like to join us live on stream, let me know. You'd be more than welcome to hang out with myself and Argembarger. Argembarger, Izan and I have gotten up to many adventure here in the Wyvern's Lair in the past, so he's a good friend of mine, and he's also a big, passionate Dwarf Fortress tourist like yourself.
Yep.
All right, so where are we going next to Argembarger?
Yeah, I was thinking we could look at. We have a woodcutter again, right? Have we? Maybe we could designate some more wood to get cut, maybe further away from the fortress.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the top.
Yeah, we just need to wait till those work orders get done. So occasionally you can check the work order screen to just see how they're going.
Oh, so where's the work order screen?
Oh, it's the U
work orders.
Work orders. So yeah, you can just check this occasionally and see when you unpause. You can just like check that once in a while, and we can see if when they get done, we'll be able to tear down that workshop and build our dining room and set it as our meeting area. That way, the dwarves stop hanging out where the wagon used to be.
That's
so
like
funny.
Their
default.
We got the pants of Colotl still there. Giant cave spider silk trousers. This is a giant cave spider silk trouser. It is made from giant cave spider silk cloth. The thread is midnight blue with dimpled dye. It's coated with white sand. That belonged to Colotl, who
my
himself.
Game has already departed vastly from your game because I have a ton of troglodyte blood on my surface.
Really? That's interesting.
Yep.
All right, so how do I mark out these logs for these trees for logging?
Yeah, that's the second button on the middle, like the
There we
I think
go.
it's L.
And then I just do this.
Yeah, but not all of them because like it's just gonna be overwhelming job. Maybe just pick a few.
Okay.
They'll give a lot of wood because they're pretty big trees.
So let's try that again. So I do this, and then
yeah, just like 2 or 3.
Like that?
A little square around several. Yeah, that'll work.
That'll work. Okay. And unpause.
Yeah.
And then where should we move our camera, or what should we watch next?
I would watch this because last time the woodcutter died, so
okay.
Let's make sure they don't die. Let's see if it doesn't start getting done immediately, they might be taking a break. You can oh, there it goes. They're going.
There it goes.
You can kind of see what might have happened here when they chop down the tree. Yeah, see it makes a little like it drops wood like next to the tree. That's the tree falling down.
Right.
So if a dwarf was standing there when that happened, then they would get they would have a bad time. I saw a thing in the chat. Somebody asked if I knew about quantum stockpiles. Yeah, that's a quirk of the game of like the tile-based system.
Okay, that does not look good.
Stack stuff in multiple places. Oh,
whatever this thing is. Let's see where we can find it. Where is that? Oh, there it is. An elk bird. Okay, it's actually not too ferocious. 6 years old.
Elk bird. Let me check that on the wiki. Is that a monster or an animal? Elk bird. Elk bird, a large creature found grazing on mushrooms deep underground. It walks on 2 legs and has the head of a bird with the antlers of a great elk.
Alright, doesn't look like anything we need to be worried about.
They are among the most common creatures, rivaled only by Crundles. They are generally non-hostile, but they will interrupt tasks. And if they get spooked, they might get in a fight.
Okay. Good to know.
They're not that big of a deal. They're also like they can be butchered for meat, so you can hunt them technically.
We still haven't had that door built yet from our carpentry workshop.
Yeah, I think it's probably been made, and if not, we definitely have the wood for it now.
So
you click on that workshop.
Yeah, let's click on the workshop. All right.
Looks like it's been made then.
Then why can't we place that door?
Because well, when we tried to place it, we didn't have a door that could be placed. You need to have like everything needs to be backed up by something physical before it can be.
So I'm clicking here. Select material after placement.
Yep, that's what we want.
Right here. It says needs a door. Make it a workshop first. No access to door.
What? We totally built a door. All right, go to the work orders.
Okay.
Make some stone doors. Make some rock doors.
Okay. So
Said
go.
doors.
You
Make
work
rock
orders. Okay, we're gonna create a new work order.
Wood is for beds. That's
right. Stone door.
rock
Or
door.
Rock door. Sorry. There we go.
Gotcha. Yeah,
And how many were you making?
You know, I mean,
Might as well make 10.
you'll use them eventually. You'll use them
Okay.
for bedrooms. You'll use them for whatever.
All right. Okay. Now what are we watching?
Yeah, they'll be working on a lot of stuff. Let's check your mason to make sure that they're actually gonna do that and they're not just busy mining.
There's the mason.
Um,
Make rock table.
rock table, he's working on it. Okay.
Tech code.
I would maybe uncheck mining from them temporarily, just so they don't stop doing what they're doing now.
So uncheck mining.
Yeah, I could go back to you and the laborers, or I guess it's just the Y key is the labor key.
Y key.
And
Let's try that.
just go to miners and uncheck on your mason.
Uncheck on the mason. Done.
That way they will just focus on. And now that you've done that, go mine to the south of your quarters.
Okay.
We want to actually make a more, basically make a place to build more workshops in general. But we want it to be farther away from our dining room, where our dining room's going to be.
So
I want to
south.
build it to the south. Yeah, I want to put the workshops and industry to the south.
Okay. So south of the staircase, correct?
Yeah, you went down a level, which is okay. You can put it down a level if you want.
I don't think. Oh, you're right. I did. No. I wanna use our actual level here. There we go. So south of the staircase here. Okay. Done.
Yeah, you can just
Like
put
that.
out. Yep, and then that mason will keep working on rock, but you'll still have mining get done at the same time. You can
Let that
unpause and
pass. We're unpaused.
keep an eye on the food. Actually, food says 70 now, so we have more food than we started with. That's good.
Okay.
Always nice. It's probably from the gathering that we did.
Here come the dwarves working on the corridor that you wanted. And I believe that's our mason going to the mason workshop. Excellent.
They're just dragging big boulders over and turning them into tables and chairs.
We got our helpful cats. Oh, one thing that I want to point out for the adventurers here in the live stream is how you can actually, you can discover information about your characters here. So this is Tekud, our mason, who's currently building our first stone tables, chairs, and doors, and we can see that he's 83 years old. And I see that these quotes change from time to time. He's a proficient mason, adequate stone cutter, adequate stone carver, novice miner, and novice engraver. Awesome. Let's go ahead and just play that. So I love these little. Hey, whoa.
Elk birds charging in.
Elk birds charging in.
I don't see any fights starting, so they probably just wandered in and they're just as spooked as everybody else.
So we probably do need to seal that door, don't we?
Yeah, we gotta make the door.
Okay.
Let's make sure the door gets made.
First.
I can show you. Go to back to the labor,
Okay.
and you can push the door over the table. You
Got
can
it.
reprioritize
There we go.
so that.
Oops, I see. There we go. Now the door is prioritized over the table.
Yeah, yep, it's at
Okay.
the top. So it'll be they'll work on those first.
Okay.
That way we have at least one and we can go ahead and place it. But let's see, the quickest way to deal with the invasion of elk birds, it would probably be. Let me see. Do we have to actually form a militia in order to tell them to kill the elk birds?
Okay.
I think we might.
Might have
That
to.
might in fact be what is needed.
Okay.
There's a justice menu.
All right. Justice, and it reads as such. If you have a law enforcement administrator like a sheriff or captain of the guard, witnesses of crimes will make reports which find their way here. Certain crimes are indicative of larger problems, so you should pay attention to them. And affected victims and family members get upset if a crime is ignored. It's up to you to choose whom to convict. All available witness information is presented for each case. You can also interrogate suspects. This is particularly important for schemes where the witnesses might not have the full story. It is recommended to place a certain number of cages and chains and assign them to a dungeon zone. Officers may opt for physical punishment if they cannot carry out custodial sentences.
Yeah, that's the wrong menu. That's just the civil justice for the law and order system. What we need to do is in the nobles and administrators
What
menu.
about the fortress guard?
That's like the I don't know. They're just like a peacekeeper. They're for like dwarf on dwarf justice.
Got you. Okay.
We go to the
Militia
nobles and
commanders.
administrators. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be militia commander is what we need to
Assign. All right.
So I'll do it with you. Typically, yeah, we don't have anybody with relevant skills, but the miner is as good a choice as any. They've already got a weapon.
Okay. We'll assign Bormrek Udubod as our militia commander.
That's what I've got on my end too. And then now that is assigned, I believe that having that assigned should open up military option for like making a squad. Maybe it's Q? Oh yeah, it is Q for squad. Very logical.
All right, there we go. This is the squad
yeah.
menu. Here you can create squads, fill their positions, assign equipment and schedules, and give specific orders. It is recommended that you prepare a squad and get them training as soon as you can. You have no idea what's lurking out there.
And once we have our first migrant wave, which will come in the summer, so it should come soon, but then we can like rework our squad a little bit. But you can say create new squad. I would say no uniform because we don't really have.
Okay. Choose a uniform for the militia commander squad. No uniform. Done.
Should automatically assign the militia commander, and you can hit the you can customize the squad with the quill.
Okay.
And you can next to the quill is the positions of the squad, and you can well yeah, you can customize it if you want, but you can go back to the unit positions, and you have to actually officially assign your militia commander. So that little icon next to the quill.
View the positions in the squad. This is the Cobalt Cavities Adventurers. All right, done.
Yeah, and then you can hit check on the bomb wreck. That'll like, because he can command squads without being in them. See, but now we'll actually put him in it, and then you can assign position 2 and 3, probably to be the other people with pickaxes, and maybe the Fisher Dwarf as well. So everybody with a weapon, basically.
Done. Done.
And
that's it.
Yep, done. You got all. You got. I guess. Oh yeah, because your mason's working on doors, so we should probably leave them out of the. Make sure you check on them too. So check them into the squad with the. Yep. And now, to tell them to kill the elk birds is assign a kill order.
Do we want to enlist anyone else in our squad?
You want to? I'd say
I don't know.
They don't have weapons though. Like we have our pickaxes. We have 2 pickaxes and 1 wood cutting axe, which is better than nothing.
Got it. Okay, so let's go ahead and assign that kill order. Assign a kill order. The soldiers will attempt to kill a targeted creature. All right, so we click on this button then.
Yep, and then you have to find it, I think.
Got you. XVT says my recommendation is not to attack the elk birds.
Okay, that's a good call then. But we'll have our squad in case we need it.
Okay. Is there? Wouldn't the elk birds cause a disruption within our fortress, XVT? I'm kind of. I mean, honestly, I'm in favor of attacking them. Yeah.
They are large. But I mean, I like attacking.
Why not? Why not? Okay, let's take them on.
Losing is fun. Losing is fun.
Okay, assign a kill order. We're gonna go ahead and do this. No target. Oh, okay. So how do I find a target?
Yeah, so you can actually back out of. You can hit escape to back out of the main menu while keeping this open, and then you can find the upward. Yeah, You can select multiple elk birds.
All right. I think that's only the one that we have here.
Yeah,
I
once they're going aggro, they should keep fighting if there's more to fight. So, yeah, let's see what happens. This is a good way to. Maybe wrap up the session. We'll see.
XBT says the elk birds will murder the dwarves, but if you leave them, they might just kill the dogs. So then we definitely want to take them on. All right, we're gonna go ahead and confirm this. And unpause, right?
Let's have fun with it. Yeah, this might be bad, but
done.
We can.
Got it. Oh wait, I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, pause. You can analyze elk bird blood. That's a good sign. So Mike's
how do we get more information about the fight?
There's a fight alert on the left.
Okay, got you. Let's see this. The recruit Zahn Udmaker is fighting. The Elkbird is fighting. Militia Commander Bomrik Autobot is fighting. So if we click here, we can see that. And then we have an axe here.
Yeah, the fight just started, so there might not be anything to show yet.
Close that. What does this mean? Okay. There you go. This is an update about our militia. Sarvish Azavuz has become a recruit. Zahn has become a recruit, and Bomrik has become the militia commander. Okay, cool. Let's see if we... There we go. Okay, there we go. We have information here about the fight. All right. The Elkbird has been stunned. The recruit punches the Elkbird in the right upper leg with his left hand, bruising the muscle. Okay, So you can actually see the whole log of the fight. Okay, it looks like we're winning. The militia commander punches the Elkbird in the head with his right hand. Why is he using his hands and not his weapons? I'm curious.
Could be that he tried to throw his weapon. It could be all kinds of stuff. Could be that he's better at fighting hand to hand than he is at fighting with the weapon that he's got.
The Elkbird passes out from exhaustion. It looks like we're winning this fight handedly. All right, we're going to go ahead and unpause, and hopefully this is it. It looks like the Elkbird is about
just
to fall.
going like just barehanded, digging into some Elkbird here.
It does look like that.
Hope for the best. Hopefully that makes the other Elkbirds go away.
Let's see. Let's take a look here. Again.
Same pretty much. And I think there is I believe a speed so you can slow the game down while it's unpaused.
Did we win? Let's see. It does look like they're just smashing the poor Elkbird in the head.
Yeah. Pretty brutal.
Alright, so there's a way to slow it down? Settings? How do we do that?
Yeah, I think it's graphical FPS cap. You can set that lower. I believe that it makes the game...
Set it to 5, just out of curiosity. We can always reset it to 50.
I might be wrong about that. Yeah, there is definitely a way to tell the game to run slower by default, because it does run kind of fast.
There we go. There we go.
So it could be a little easier to follow the action.
Right.
And it's just more beginner friendly.
Right.
Yeah, more beginner friendly. Not that our streams aren't taking long enough, right? But it's just to follow the action.
Let's go ahead and speed up the fight a little bit, because I think it will take a long time at this current speed. So we're going to set it back to 50. Uh-oh. Hold on one second. I think, hold on one second.
All good.
Alright, let's try that again. Settings. I can't seem to get into my settings menu for some reason.
Weird. Can you get into the... And you can hit return to game, right?
Click return to game. I can't get into settings.
Try again. It's very weird.
I'm gonna go ahead and save.
Yeah, that's maybe smart.
I'm gonna save and return to title menu for the time being. Save to this timeline. Yes.
We are running the beta for Adventure Mode, so you never know.
Yeah, it does seem like we've hit some sort of instability here.
Yeah, it's
there we go.
Save and like should fix itself next time you go in.
Yep.
Very crucial moment for that. Hopefully you have everything. If you kill this elk, then I think you can. I can walk you through making a kitchen so you can maybe clean the meat and prepare it.
Sounds good. Gon is sipping some coffee there, enjoying our Dwarf Fortress shenanigans. Yeah, something about setting the speed lower has really slowed down the game here. So we might want to just go ahead and if on the menu, restore it to 50, which is the original value. It's taking a long time to save announcements. There we go.
Frame. Oh wait, and it's actually not that setting anyway, so we want that to be 50 anyway.
Okay.
That's the wrong setting. I thought I was wrong. I couldn't find the right one, but now I found it.
Got it. Done. So we got that sorted
50.
out. And then what are we changing here?
This would be under game.
Okay. Let me click
And
done.
it's-
And then continue active world. You have to load back up. Okay, yes, that solved our slowdown issue.
Yeah, the actual setting is under the game tab, and it's at the bottom, and it's just game frames per second. Simple as can be. And it caps it to 100.
Okay. So let's go ahead back into settings, and we're looking for game. And what are we looking for again?
Scroll to the bottom.
Scroll to the bottom.
Game frames per second.
Got you. All right. So right now it's default to 100. For the sake of just speeding through this combat, we're going to keep it at 100. But it's good to know where we can change that if need be. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And there, elk is dead. Okay. What I'd like to do now is set that door before we forget about it.
Let's set that door.
Yeah. I don't want anything else wandering in from the... Oh, how do we dictate what door we use?
It'll let you choose.
Select material after placement. Okay.
Oh, are we still... Maybe you got interrupted by the fight.
Oh, that could be it. Let's go to work orders and see kind of where we're at with that stuff.
You can watch the progress on the work orders.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that.
Unpause it.
Yeah. Oh, we can't unpause from the work order screen? That's unfortunate. But I guess we can't. Oh, there we go. Oh no, another freaking... Another elk is about to wander into our fortress.
Oh.
Let's see. Let's take a look at the U screen. Work orders. We still haven't made a single damn door. I have the feeling our militia's gonna have to go after this elk too. Let's unpause and see what happens. Yep, straight into the fortress. Okay.
Straight into the fort.
Yeah. It does look like we really have to. We'll wait for that elk. We should probably wait for it to. Let's see. Okay, we have the elk bird corpse here. What do we do? I guess we do have to. Do we have to send our dwarves after that next elk?
Potentially. Is your mason like at the workshop right now? They might be building the door right as we speak.
Okay, let's go back to the workshop here. Where are they going? This is the workshop. What the heck is going on with these dwarves? Store items and stockpile.
Clean self. Eat. Yeah. Make rock throne. Oh, they're still working on... They might have been in the middle of making a rock throne when we told them to make doors instead.
It's a store item and stockpile. That's what it's doing.
Yeah.
So does that mean it's taking something that it's made and putting in the stockpile?
Yeah, probably taking a finished...
Okay.
Probably taking a finished product.
Door. Gotcha. Okay,
so what can be nice is if you take your stockpile there and you omit like finished rock goods.
Okay. So let's go to view
you
stockpile.
Can make them in there in more custom, so that's fine. Just go into custom.
Okay, custom. There we go.
Then I think we want the finished goods section.
Okay.
Then stone or rock, or stone/clay, and probably just none.
None?
Probably just uh,
Or furniture. How about furniture?
might be furniture, yeah. But say none on that, and then that'll keep them from bringing every single door, chair, and table up to the main stockpile when they're done.
Okay. So stone and clay. I'm gonna click none. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. All right. And now let's see if we can place that door. XVT says you should
they
check
still haven't
your fighter dwarves if
made
they
it
have
yet.
wounds. So how do we do that?
If you check the units, you can just click on each one. I think in the magnifying glass,
Okay. So we just
the U menu. Yeah.
like this. Okay. So we got. Is there a way to check our militia? How do we access our militia again?
Q
Here.
for squad.
Q for squad. Okay. There we go. And then we click here, or sorry, click there. All right. There we go. And
Yeah.
okay. And then what am I doing? Oh no. No, I did a mistake here. I want to get rid of our. I accidentally put someone into the squad.
Oh.
Um,
You can, right if you click
we want
on
the
the
mason here. Got you. So we can. We don't want this guy, right? How do we take him out of the squad?
No, that's the only one. That's the only one left who's not in the squad. If you click over to the squad on the right,
Okay.
so the members that you don't want. If you click on one of those members that you don't want,
Uh-huh.
then it'll. If you click on one of them, it'll pop it in the middle and say remove assignment.
Okay, so how do I do that again?
So the right hand column, just click on the picture or the name of the dwarf that's in the squad on the right.
On the right. I'm doing that
Yeah.
and not coming up with anything. I have to click here.
Okay, interesting. So when I'm clicking on that, I get the option to, yeah, there it is, remove assignment.
Oh, okay.
The middle pane is showing the dwarves who are not assigned.
Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So now we gotta go ahead and assign a leader, right?
Yep.
So
Need the probably the militia.
Bomrick, right? Our miner.
Yeah.
And we had the metal crafter and the fisher dwarf.
Yeah,
were
because they have weapons. Just because they have weapons.
Right, not the mason,
Pretty
right?
much.
I thought we had the mason involved in fighting.
No, because we were trying to get them to make the doors so we
Right,
can stop
okay,
fighting.
Got you. Okay, so it'd be the metal crafter and the fisher dwarf. Okay.
Yeah, the mason has a pickaxe, so they have a weapon, but we're trying to get them to just
Okay.
focus on their job.
And then how do we view their condition?
So now, I think not from this menu, but if you go back to just the U menu for the units,
Gotcha.
then you can
Healthy.
healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah, click on the little
healthy.
magnifying glass. Yeah.
And healthy. Gotcha. So none of them took any injuries. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Gotcha. All right. So good. So let's go ahead and return back to this area here. See if we have that stone door now. Doors. Okay, we still don't have a single door, unfortunately.
Oh, I got my migrants on my game. I got
You
them
do?
midsummer. I got them in. Yeah. So you should get them in one more month. They're in
Okay.
first day of the first month of summer right now, and I got
Gotcha.
the migrants about midway through month 2.
I wonder where that elk bird went. Let's see, where did it go?
There should be a menu where you can see creatures that aren't yours. Yeah, I think if you go to the U menu
U menu, okay.
and then
Creatures.
the other.
Other.
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
You can kind of magnify all of them and see what they are.
Right, got you. Okay.
That's also, you can also do a kill. I think you do kill order from here. But I'm not sure.
Okay, one's on the surface, which we don't mind. It seems. Okay. So you have to go through this individually
if they-
like this.
Just to find the ones that are in the cave. It should be if you just say U instead of hitting X.
Okay, I think
And you can hop
I
straight
found the one that's in the Dwarf Fortress here. Should we assign the militia to take it on now that it's in the fortress? I guess so.
That would be consistent with our past policy. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll send the militia after this guy. Confirm that, and let's go ahead and unpause. And let's see.
Oh, we have honeybees on our site. That's cool.
Why does it say Bomrick has become a militia commander X3?
Probably because we just like unassigned and reassigned. Probably.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see what's happening here.
Kill Elkbird.
It's fighting. Let's see where that is. Oh, we can't zoom up to the conflict?
You should be able to. The magnifying icon. It's because that particular step of the conflict might have happened on this random staircase.
Okay.
That we're looking at. So it was here, but it's not here now.
We'll just dismiss that. Okay, it's now summer.
Might try zooming on the most recent combat log.
All right.
Or you can, there's a way to focus on an entity. Find that, 'cause that's handy.
Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Oh, hey! Uh-oh. That Elkbird's going back out into the cavern, it seems. So let's see if we can set up that door. Let's see if we got that door finally made.
Did you find the set the camera to follow this creature button?
Not yet, but if it's going back out in the cavern, I don't know why we chase it out there. Let's take a look at our orders, work orders, store item.
Yeah.
Okay, make throne room. Why is the bookkeeper making a throne room?
They are because they have the labor for that. They might have, like, the Uvash. Let me check Uvash.
Gotcha. Adventurers, please join me in welcoming Zelkova LRU to the Wyvern's Lair, saying, hey, 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 how's it going, DM? Well, I'm having a great time here with my friend Argembarger, so I discovered Dwarf Fortress. Okay, because that elk has went back into the cavern, I no longer want to kill that elk bird. So, to do that, I go back to my squad here, and I click on cancel, correct?
So, because I don't have an active kill order on my game, so I can't try it for you. But
done. I think that worked.
Yeah, it looks like that works.
Should I maintain the squad as is? That doesn't interfere with their other duties?
Yeah, as long because there's the schedule button and there's a whole rabbit hole for schedule. But as long as you never use the schedule button, then yeah, like it shouldn't affect their day-to-day.
Got it. And I can see here that Bomrick and Zahn and Sarvesh have picks in a wooden log and axe. So that means they'll return back to their mining duties after I cancel that order?
That means that they... So,
tasks.
The X there, I think that just means... I'm trying to figure out why that's Uvash, right? I'm accidentally adding people to my militia now. Whoops.
Actually, it says the bookkeeper is making the throne room because the work order is universal, but the workshop is not specified to the mason.
Ah, thank you.
Do we want to specify the workshop to the mason?
We can.
Okay.
There is only one right now.
So we click on the workshop, and then how do we specify it to the mason here?
Yeah, you click on the workshop, and then
there
say...
we go. Boom, done. So yeah, ticket assigned to ask the masons to workshop. Only one master may be assigned to each workshop. There we go. Okay, done.
Yeah, this can get, there's a huge rabbit hole here where it's like you want your like most skilled dwarves to be using very particular workshops that are only supplied with the highest quality materials. but that's a rabbit hole that you can completely ignore and instead just have everybody doing whatever.
XBT says, I so want to jump on Discord and help you guys out, but at the same time I love seeing the struggle. All right.
We really appreciate the advice in chat though.
We do.
It's been great.
Okay. Oh wait. Where the frick is my dwarves going? Okay, where?
Getting chased into the cave by scary Elkbird.
I don't know. Let's take a look at my dwarves here. So my question to you is, now that I've canceled the militia order, is what are those dwarves doing?
Now that you've canceled the militia order, it
Yeah.
looks like they are trying to do hauling, maybe?
Is
Pick
that
up
what-
equipment. We don't really have equipment for them to pick up, so
I think they dropped their equipment, their mining stuff. It seems.
that could be, that actually would make sense. Oh, you know what it is they need to be told to use their weapons in their squad.
Oh.
So that would definitely help.
So how do we do that?
You go to the squad, and you so there should be a, looking for it now. Squad.
Sign a training order. Sign a borrow defense. Sign a patrol. Station order. Equip. There we go.
Equip.
Okay.
The
Let's see.
whole-
We'll click here, or details. That didn't work. Details. Got.
And I think there's a way for it to just
New
say,
weapon. Ah, there we go. So
oh, individual choice. Individual choice. That's
Okay.
that's the catch-all.
Okay, we'll do that.
That's critical. Yeah.
Okay.
You can assign the metal uniform, but we don't have any metal.
Right. Okay. So do I have to do that for all the dwarves then?
I think there should be a way to do it squad level. But again, I'm like honestly more familiar with the old school interface. So I'm still learning.
Well, we can take a look and see if that is applied. New weapon, individual choice.
It's awesome. You can look at the world map while you're in fort mode. That's crazy.
Okay, we'll check this dwarf here. I'm sorry. Details, new weapon, individual choice. Okay.
Yeah.
Press the equip button. Yeah, we got it. And update equipment. Okay. All right, confirm. Oh, I had to confirm it. There we go. Okay. So let's see if that worked. New weapon. I don't see confirm. Position 1, position 2, new weapon, individual choice, confirm. New weapon, individual choice weapon, confirm. Okay. Supposedly I have all this set up the way that I think. Okay, we have that elk bird coming back into our fortress. So let's take a look. There it is. Let's just go ahead and pause and see what's going on. Okay, so that guy goes there. We got our dwarves heading back into the fortress, which is what we want. And there we go.
Oh, I see why they recommended assigning metal armor, because it does stick individual choice, like melee weapon on everybody. And even though they can't actually equip metal things, if you ever get any, then they will. Kind of nice, but yeah.
Gotcha.
So telling them to just use metal armor is solid, because then they'll just use whatever weapon they can grab.
XP2 says this is the regular start, so you have some metal weapons. You should assign the metal uniform. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna go into squad details. Is there a way to do it at like the squad level? Is it assign uniform or add uniform?
It was assign uniform, yeah. You got the squad selected. Yep, metal armor. If you just click on that, it'll oh, did you hit the X?
I did.
Ooh.
Add uniform, I guess. Nope, that didn't work.
It's amazing that the game lets you just...
Choose a uniform for the selected positions. Oh, okay.
It's amazing the game lets you just delete the definition of the uniform with one click, with no warning.
All right, let's wait for XBT to jump in here. There has to be a way to back out of that mistake. Assign uniform. Damn it.
Because add uniform can let you like redefine it. And I have it on my end, so I can tell you what they all are if you want to like redefine it. But at this point, yeah, it's probably easier at this point to just assign leather armor, because it should also come with the same individual choice melee. Yeah, so leather armor is a good backup. You just
okay, let's
leather
try
armor.
that. Let's try assign uniform, leather armor. Oh,
yeah,
got you.
So
No. I'd rather have my metal armor. Honestly, like how do I get that going?
add uniform is the button to like define a type of uniform like this. So
okay.
then you can just choose each piece.
Is there a way to add metal back into this assign uniform menu?
Yeah, once you do add uniform, you can give it a name. You can call it metal armor or whatever.
All right. So we got to go back to what is it? Add uniform?
Yeah.
Okay. New body wear. And we got to choose
metal.
Metal. Okay. I actually don't see that as an option here.
It should be. Might have to just say armor.
Armor. Okay.
Because armor and then material, you can say metal.
Done.
Yeah, and then you'll do that for headwear, legwear.
And then I can type in the name here, metal armor.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what each one has. It's
confirm and save uniform. There we go. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
It's metal armor, metal headwear, metal legwear, metal handwear.
Done.
Metal footwear.
And it actually indicates where we're going to be putting this armor. So I guess we have the shirts and nothing else.
Oh yeah, so if you in the I think it's now, I think it might still be add uniform. Hold on.
No, I think that worked.
Metal armor, but you only have one piece in it. That's all right though, but I think there should be a way to
I think
customize.
we successfully added metal armor as a preference for the squad. And I guess we're just missing the.
We just need to make sure they got the weapon. That's the important thing.
Okay.
So check the details right now.
Okay. Done.
And say new weapon.
New weapon. Okay.
Say individual choice melee.
Individual choice melee. Okay.
Or even individual choice weapon in general, but yeah, so that's really important. That way they'll choose to use their pickaxe or wood cutting axe.
Okay, and do we have to do this? I guess we do have to do this.
Unfortunately, yeah, because it only gives you the chance to define the uniform once. There's got to be a way to edit on a uniform level. I'm looking for it.
Done. Okay.
You'll just have to say
the armor thingy. I had to research this for days, so unless you know how it works, just use the leather armor for now. We'll just keep it as metal for now. You said that we should have some metal pieces here, so.
Yeah, I think the only way is you got to go to add uniform, and you just got to do every single piece, and then because you only get one chance to like define it. So you might like delete your partial armor and create a new one, but I actually need to get running here, unfortunately, but.
Argembarger, we still did a lot. Obviously, there's a lot more to learn.
Yep, we survived. We killed
an elk bird. We didn't lose any dwarves. When we come back, what is our first priority when we return back to our fortress here?
Definitely getting that door installed, get cut down on the chaos down here, because we can do farming on the surface even. Like we can, it's not ideal, but we totally can just set up some basic farms closer to the surface and the soil layers. It's a lot simpler that way. Just less fun.
Okay, so
capital F fun.
Well, we can descend into the cavern once we have a better handle on the rest of the fortress, I think.
Building that door and locking it, and then then we just want to set up our food, getting food and getting especially the components we need for brewing, because food we're actually okay on, but drink is the real killer. Nothing's gonna take a fort down faster than running out of alcohol.
That's right. XBTSA's Tavern should be one of our top priorities for when we come back.
Yeah.
Argembarger, I had a great time. Thank you so much for joining us here in Dwarf Fortress. I'm going to go ahead and do you want me to send over my save to you, or are you good having sort of the world on your end as sort of like a parallel playthrough?
I like having the updated saves.
Okay, I'll send you the most recent save in that case.
At this point, I've got completely different migrants in mind, and it's already gone so far off into a different timeline. But
okay,
once I guess eventually we'll have you like self-sufficient, and then we can officially start passing one back and forth.
That sounds like that sounds good. Have a great time. Do you want to share where you're headed next?
Yeah. I'm going to a little Oktoberfest up in New Albany, Ohio. Maybe
Fantastic.
Publicly intoxicated and singing folk songs.
Argembarger is a true Urist IRL.
That's right. That's right. Revelry. Dwarven revelry.
And I'd like to thank all the adventurers who join us live on stream. T-Dub, XBT. Who else do we have here lurking at the end of it? Zelkova, LRU. We had a lot of great people show up. Wesley isn't bad. Thank you all for coming by and spending... Gone Soulfire, of course. Thank you all for dropping by and spending some time with myself, DM Wyvern, and Argembarger as we play Dwarf Fortress. I look forward to seeing you all here for the next adventure at the Wyvern's Lair soon. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.